Hey, Bobby Joe, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I am
Mm.
so excited because you shared some awesome information with me today. Can you tell us what's going on? What happened with your thyroid, start to finish?
So the last couple of years, I've had a lot of stress going on. So 2024, I lost my dad, and then 2 months later, or a month later, we actually moved out of our home with our four kids, and we lived in our camper for 3 months because we were in the midst of building a new home. So it was a lot. So I was living in my camper with six humans, four dogs, and two cats while our house was being built. Um, and so I got off my diet completely, like literally was living off takeout. And then the stress of losing my dad and, like I said, building a house. And we also run a landscaping business in Alberta. So we also had that on our plate. So it was a lot to go going on. And then we got into our house finally like that November, tried to get settled in, and I never had time to really grieve my dad because it was like all of a sudden I lose my dad and it's like we're packing up our house and we're moving and we're living in a camper. Like nothing, I just didn't have that time to process stuff. So as we got settled in, I started processing things and I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel terrible. um Health wise, because I got off my supplements, I got off taking care of me, and I was basically in fight or flight, just worrying, making sure that my kids were fed and watered, my animals were fed and watered, and I was just living. um as many people know, I love Christmas, and that Christmas I didn't even put up a Christmas decoration, and I was like, okay, something isn't right. Like I didn't even have a Christmas tree up. My kids the week before were like, "What is going on with mom?" And I'm like, "Oh my goodness." And I didn't realize it until literally Christmas hit. And I was like, "I'm not okay." So again, I just had gone for, my regular physicals and stuff, but at this time I did not have the scanner, unfortunately, which I wish I would have had it because I know it would have helped my dad tremendously. And so then that was in 2025. The winter of 2025, we were living in our house. And then October of 2025, I lost my grandmother. And that was another huge blow to me. So I was like, okay, actually, I'm going to go back. So 2024 in June, my husband lost his uncle, who was a huge part of our family. July, I lost my dad. August, we moved. November, my husband lost his grandfather, and then December he lost his aunt. So we had four immediate deaths, like within mere months. Like it was a lot. And then October of 2025, I lost my baba, or my grandmother. And it was then I was like, I feel horrible. Like I feel horrible. And my anxiety was so bad, I would not leave my house. I couldn't stop fidgeting, and I was like, what is going on? Like I've had anxiety, but I'm like, this is a whole new level. Like, so then I started losing weight, which I didn't realize I was losing weight until one of our workers, I went into the office one day and he's like, oh my, you've lost weight. And I'm like, what? Because I don't jump on the scale. And then I went home after I left the office and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm down 15 pounds. I'm like, my goodness. So I was introduced to this. At this point, I was on the scanner for a few months. Like I had the AO scanner for like 8 months, but I was like not using it at its full potential. I was like, oh, I got the scanner. Great. But I wasn't using it at its full potential. So then I was like starting to use my scanner every day. And I'm like, jeepers, I'm like, my thyroid keeps popping up. So November and December went on, and like I said, I felt absolutely horrible. And then January, um, my family decided kind of, well, we're going to go on a family trip kind of mid-January. And I'm like, I'm not going because I felt horrible. And then I had to fly, which my anxiety skyrocketed even more. And I went to my doctor, I had my physical, and I said to her, And after scanning like repeatedly, just like doing my vitals, like my thyroid kept popping up. I'm like, okay, there's something going on here. So I went to my family doc. I said, can you check my thyroid? And she's like, sure, is there something, and I'm like, just check it for me. I'm like, because she knows I do different things, but um, she did the blood work and then she messaged me and she goes, oh, she's like, your thyroid is off. She's like, I'm going to send you for more blood work. I want to check you for antibodies for autoimmune disease. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like, autoimmune disease. Like, I panicked like anybody, right? Because I'm like, that's a big word. I'm like, that's a diagnosis. I'm like, oh my goodness, what's going on? So then I'm like, okay, I really need to focus on doing my scans regularly. And after listening to a couple sessions with Lauren and just being in our group alone, I'm like learning how powerful inner voice is.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay, because you don't think you're like, oh my gosh, I got to do this inner voice. Like, how is this actually helping me? So I stuck to it. And yes, I take supplements, but after learning a lot, like you can take all the supplements you want, and I take high-end supplements. Like, um, I've been with a company for a bit, but these supplements are amazing. But I'm like, if my body's in fight or flight and I've got trapped emotions, it's not doing anything for me. I'm literally wasting my money. And I was on these supplements well before I got tested. So I'm like, okay, something still isn't right with these. So after doing the inner voice continuously and my vitals and comprehensive, and then so then when I went to my doctor, she's like, you have Graves' disease. This was in February of this year. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got Graves' disease. I'm like, what the heck? So then I tell my husband, and he's like, what is this? I'm like, I don't know. So then, of course, Google comes out, and I'm like, I'm dying. I've got it all. Like, that's it. My life's over. Um, and I'm like, okay, I need to stick to this faithfully. So I just did my scans regularly. And then once I learned more about the scanner, like the clearing and the shield and the EMF shield and the grounding, that's kind of when I was like, okay, this is keeping me calm. And then I really noticed, I'm actually functioning. Like I felt like I was like on so much caffeine that I couldn't even stand still. It was so bad. And then I'm like, I'm calm. And I'm like, the only thing I'm doing is my scans and my inner voice regularly. I'm like, okay. So then my doctor said to me, your levels are kind of they're quite high. I'm going to send you to an endocrinologist. I'm like, oh my gosh, specialist. I'm like, oh my goodness, another big word, another scary thing coming at me. I held off getting my blood work done because I'm like, oh my goodness, I got to go to the specialist again. So I went to the specialist in July of this year. I took my husband with me because I'm like, you need to come learn all about Graves' disease. And then I'm like, I need to change my mind. I need to change my thoughts. And every day I'm like, my thyroid is perfectly fine. I'm so glad that my thyroid is back to normal. I've got nothing to worry about. My Graves' disease is gone. One thing I did not use though was the mind sync, which I should, but I talked to myself every day as if it was gone. My inner voice, my regular scans, and I went for my endocrinologist said, I'm sending you for your full again panel of for thyroid and your hormones, and we're going to check you for Graves' disease. So when I went in to see him, he's like, oh, so how's your medication working? Because my doctor in February had prescribed two medications, and I'm like, well, I'm actually not on them. And he's like, oh, you stopped them? I said, I never filled them. And he's like, what? And I said, no, I did not fill the prescriptions. I'm sorry, but I said, I'm trying it my way first. If my way doesn't work, then I may revisit it, but I'm going to try something else on top of what I'm doing now, just because I did not want to do any pharmaceuticals. And he's like, absolutely. He's like, you know what? Whatever works for you. And you don't find that very often in the medical field. Usually they will shut you down and then they're like, oh, well, you know what? I don't want you as a patient because if you're not going to do it my way and medically, but he's like, hey, whatever you're doing, if that's working, he's like, that's great. He was so open. My husband looked at me and I was like, and he was a younger guy, and it was so nice to hear because, like I said, um, I was waiting. I was just waiting to like get defensive. And he said, you know what? Let's see how your thing is working. I'm going to send you for your some more blood work. I'm like, for sure. So I went, and the day of my scan or my blood work, I'm like, I'm going to do my regular scans. As I'm walking into the hospital, I'm like, my thyroid is fine. It's back to normal. I'm so excited. My blood work came back awesome. And a week later, I got an email yesterday, not even a week later, and my doctor or my endocrinologist sends me an email, and he's like, "Great news, Bobby Joe. Your thyroid levels are bang on 100%." He's like, "You no longer have any issues with your thyroid." He's like, you have no antibodies." He's like, "Your Graves' disease is gone. So whatever you're doing, keep doing it." So that was like so reassuring because I was stressing out about that because I'm like, I do not want to go on pharmaceuticals. Um, and the other thing too that I added to my routine was I was using the AO mask, the neck piece. So one day I would do it on green. Then the next day I would do the infinity wand for 2 minutes on my thyroid. Then the next day I would do the neck piece on red. And I just alternated those three. And
That's amazing. I love it.
between those and the constant scanning, and I knew my body was shifting because I was calm, I was relaxed, and I started gaining my weight back because like I was down 20 pounds at this point now. So when we went to Mexico in February, my husband literally threw this trip at me last minute. The only thing that I loved about it was I didn't have time to prepare for it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm already down 20 pounds. This is amazing. So I went in happy because I was like, oh, but if I didn't, I would have been pretty upset because I'd have been like, oh no, no, we need at least 6 months here. And then I started getting my appetite back. I started wanting to do things. I started gaining my weight back. And I'm back to right where I was. So
That's
that,
amazing. I,
yeah,
I have goosebumps listening to you. It's so
yeah.
awesome. So, which
So like,
scans did you do? And did you do a CEPI list?
so I was doing a Cephi list. So I would do clearing shield, the EMF shield, the grounding. Then I would do vitals. And then comprehensive, at that time, I was just doing anything neck related. So I would do like my neck. And the other thing too, I would do was body systems. I would do that like a couple times a week. I would do the endocrine system and hormones. And
Yeah,
I did those two as well. And then the Cephi, I didn't do it oh, actually, I was the first like month, I did it every day. I just ran it I played the 2 minute, and I had a thyroid Cephi list, and that was it.
that's
And my
amazing.
inner voice, I did not do mind sync, but just to myself every day, I'm like, today my thyroid is great. I feel great. My thyroid is back to normal. I just told myself that daily. But yeah,
That's so
so I was
awesome.
super excited to hear that news because I was like, okay, please let this be. And yeah, and
Oh
that's
my
what I was
goodness.
doing. And I was not taking my supplements faithfully. So I know it wasn't just the supplements that had helped me here because um like I said, summertime I fell off the wagon like 2 months kind of, you just get out of routine and you're so busy. So but the scanner is one thing I do not go without.
It's
So that
amazing. Thank you so much for sharing because I'm sure that's going to inspire so many people.
yes, and like I said, the biggest, like you say, you hear you have Graves' disease. You have an overactive thyroid. I was like,
Scary.
those are scary words, right? And it's like, what's this going to turn into? And then I like my hamsters were turning. I'm like, no, I've got this. Like, those are just words, and I'm going to take the action to fix those words so that my body's in the. I just had to keep my body in the calm state, and everything. I literally had every symptom of an overactive thyroid, and then when I started, like I said, scanning regularly, I could see my body shifting, and I was in that calm state.
That's amazing. I love
Yeah.
it. I'm so,
Mhm.
so glad we found the scanner, right?
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
oh,
And I always say, people always say, some people call it woo woo, and I'm like, it's not woo woo at all. It is so inspirational because I see the results myself, and
yeah.
I can't promote something unless I see um results for myself. So I won't promote something if I don't believe in it. And so this here, my husband, he wasn't on fully on the same page as me. And then when he seen this, he was like, okay,
Wow.
this,
Yeah.
we need to focus on me now. I'm like, I've been trying to do this for you. But again, if they're not fully open to it, but now he's like, okay, this is amazing. And I told my kids too. I said, "Do you see this?" And it was funny. We were at a family reunion on the weekend, and and yesterday actually, my daughter said, I heard her over talking to my husband's uncle, and I heard him say, "Bobby Joe, what is that fixed your thyroid? What was that you did? You mean you didn't take any medication?" And I was like, "Okay, my daughter is listening to me. I've been trying to get her going on this. She's always been skeptical because she's like, how does this work, Mom? Like, it's not that I don't believe it. I'm struggling understanding how it works." She's like, obviously it works because she's like, I seen where you were in October, November, December, January to where you are now with no medication. So
Amazing.
she was like, that's amazing, Mom. So now I'm like, can I run some scans? Yes, you can run some scans. I'm like, perfect.
Oh,
So yeah.
nice.
Hmm.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Bobby Joy. I so
Yeah.
appreciate this. This was so last minute too. I'm like, hey, can
Yeah.
we do a video? And you're like, yeah, let's do it.
Totally. Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes. No, thank you.
Um,
Oh.